What's good, guys? Welcome back to another video. For today, we have the latest and greatest from 70MAI. This is their new 4K A810 Lite. This all-new A810 Lite builds upon the latest that I actually filmed a few weeks ago, the A810S. This is essentially that dashcam, but pretty much beefed up. This is a dashcam for less than $100, but offering 4K compatibility, 4K dynamic range, and dual channel recording, but also all those features that the A810 has, but build it on that to give you the most compact and actually useful dash cam. Now that we have the technical specifications of the A810 Lite dash cam out the way, let's dive in, unbox this, and cover our plan for installation. You notice we have two products here. We also have the Fit DVR power adapter. I'll get to that in a second. Let's dive into the main character of today's video. This, again, is an A810S or A810 Lite. Inside the box, we just have a few books and electrostatic stickers to install the dash cam. This is our rear camera. This has those heat dissipation on the rear of it, allowing the camera to cool down a lot quicker. And again, this is pretty much universal across all 70MAI's portfolio. Nothing new or unusual for the rear camera itself. The biggest change, though, is that compact light series for the front camera. And comparing to the A810S that I installed on the X-Ray currently in there, this is a really small camera. It's really compact. In terms of quality and features wise, I would say the A10 feels a lot more premium, but again, that is the purpose of this being a Lite. It is designed to give you quality and value that you're actually going to use in a dash cam as opposed to stuff that you won't necessarily need. So on the front, we have this little screen right here. And I'll peel that off once we do our installation to kind of protect it for now. At the bottom of it, we have those buttons. Once we do our installation, we'll obviously figure out what all these buttons do. On the side, we have our micro SD slot. We have our power button right here. And then we have our connection to on the side of it. Outside the box, I would say the 70MAI A810 Lite is not necessarily depicting its name of like light. It gives you that in terms of the feel of it. You can probably tell how the buttons and the overall shell of it is 3D printed to save weight and give you that light persona. But in terms of the features of it overall, it is by no means a Lite in any way. It is a robust dash cam at an excellent price point that will save you in the long run should you have an accident. So I think that covers the entirety of the out-the-box appearance. Now, right here, we also have some hardware kit. Again, these are your USB-C to USB-A connection. And then this is the rear connector as well. Again, this is super long, super long. So when installing this, we'll just find a way to tuck most of that away. And we also have some additional items inside the box as well. These mainly include here's some little sticky hooks to kind of hook your wires in place, which you don't really need those. And then we have a USB-A to 12 volt connector right here. And that's pretty much it for inside the box. Inside this box, it is simply what it says. It is a 4G hardwire kit, which for this video we will not be using because this requires an active SIM card, or I know AT&T does offer a subscription service, so you could have internet on the go. Again, just some USB-C wires. And then inside here we have the hardwire kit. For the hardwire this box to your fuse and then leave it inside the vehicle, and then this will give you constant power to the dash cam and internet supply, allowing you to access all the videos and footage. Even if you should take vacation, go to an international country, you're still able to access a dash cam from your mobile app as well. I've used this to install the A810S in the X3, so I know this is a proven and reliable power source. Pretty much what this does is solve all your issues that you've ever had inside your vehicles with wires hanging down and stuff looking just not OEM. So this is a single little unit that solves that big issue. So just pop these out. This kind of in boxes and stuff, so let's move that stuff out of the way. But this is what it looks like. It is a power adapter allowing you to connect to the dash cam and allowing you to power more than your dash cams. Actually, you can power your radar detectors, but most importantly, this is what we are looking for. This is a connection to the BMW's rain sensing connector behind the mirror, and that is what I'm going to tap into to give my dash cam constant power supply. And pretty much it works with, so if you trigger the lights on the vehicle, if you grab the handles, once a vehicle is awakened, pretty much the dash cam will start recording. So in other words, if the vehicle gets hit or someone passes you, trigger the alarm or anything, the dash cams will go on, which is essentially a hard wire, but it is more a technical connection. So to first begin your installation of the A810 Lite, you'll first begin by removing this OEM trim piece from the mirror housing. And again, you do that by using this little trim tool. Once you do that, move the mirror out the way, and then you will see this burgundy kind of socket. You're going to unclip it because this is an OEM housing right here up top. You're going to unclip it and then grab that little adapter you have, clip that end back into the OEM housing right here. Once you do that, then you should have one more port left, and that is where the OEM housing from the car will not clip back into the end of it. That's pretty much creating a bridge. So pretty much what's going to happen, and just to show you so you have the best idea while installing this, you're going to clip this end right here, this one, into the car's OEM housing up top right here. That is the mirror ring sensor. This end now should be loose. Then you're going to connect the car's OEM connection right here into that housing. And then now we have a full connection going back to the vehicle and to the sensor. So pretty much all you're doing is creating a bridge between these two sensors, or these two connections. Then you have this one hanging down, and that is going to be for the Fit DVR or the actual dash cam itself. I have two of these because I had the FitCam X installed prior. So now that's what mine looks like, and then you'll see power or see light inside that connection. That obviously tells you it's working, so that's good. So from here now, all we need to do is pretty much connect this to the guy right here, and I'll do that. So now that I've plugged everything in to as a DC in and to the adapter. The dash cam does have power, so let's peel this off so you can see that. And so now we're good. I'm not going to continue to set up yet until we're done. So I'm going to go ahead and now connect my rear cable, which is here. It's super long, so I'll probably zip tie it for now, but I just need this main connection point right here on this side. Goes in, and then I'm going to now route off this to the rear, and then I'll come back to the front, and once I have everything connected in the rear, then I'll make my final adjustments and get all these trim pieces and everything tucked away. So for now, this is where we're at, and this is what you pretty much need to install it. Your Fit DVR adapter box, a short braided USB cable, and this bridge right here for the rain sensing. So now I'll just begin by popping my headliner slightly up. There's like a lip right here that seals it to the glass. Just get enough space where you could tuck this in there. And keep in mind that the longer length of the wire is a lot heavier, so it's going to fall down. You just need to have it just slightly holding in place so you could actually tuck most of it away. I'll just leave a good amount of distance like that, just tuck to the dash cam, and then you'll be able to put that away once you have it finalized. So for now, just pop it down, tuck it in there. So. And again, be careful not to push anything down inside this pillar because you have an airbag there. So I'll just tucked in like that. We're good. Now we just start routing it along the seam and under this rubber seal right here. It is enough to hold it in place without taking the car apart. I never want to do that. So route it and down to here, and then we'll be good. So let me get this part figured out first. So now I'm sitting at about the B pillar. I've routed it through this crease right here where the kind of headliner joins to that side trim right here, across, and now I'm up. Again, same thing, this rubber trim right here. Keep going up, tuck it in there, using that trim tool, just like that. Just make sure to tuck it. All the way down. And then once you get to that intersection right here again, same concept, go across and up into the roof. Right here is a bit tricky, but I do have a solution to that. So once I get there, I'll show you my solution to that. Okay, so once you've successfully routed your wire to the headliner and then you get to the rear, there is this black trim right above that third brake light. That trim pretty much controls the panels behind it. I should say the modules. Modules is the correct term. The modules behind it controls, I believe that's the roof function center. So there's a module inside there. Do not stick anything inside here. Don't do anything. Just pop the trim down. To get this out, it's a few clips. You have to kind of force it towards the back and then down to kind of unhook it from the trim it's attached to. Once you have it like that, don't take it off all the way. Just leave it in place. And then we'll route this wire. Now, once you have your wire routed, you're pretty much going to make like a loop. So the ends of it should be hanging down like this. From the back side of that trim, loop that wire through towards you. And then now the end of it, where the connection point is, it should now come back out and be hanging towards you. So now I'm going to tuck this towards the back end, since that's kind of where most space is at. Get it over those little clips. Tuck it again all the way to that back side of the trim, that module. And then to close this up, again, same thing, push towards the back, kind of hook these into those. You might require two hands to do this, but there's this trim pieces right inside here. Yeah, this requires two hands, but you pretty much have to apply pressure back to get this to hook into that trim piece. So I'll hook this up and then I'll show you. So now this is what it looks like. It's all in place, push back, and then there's two more clips on the ends. Push up on those to get it all snug. So mine's pretty solid. Now we'll go back to the front. Okay, so we made some progress after a few minutes of fighting with this thing right here. We've managed to get most of the wires tucked away. I kind of had to do the right side of trim, install it, and then force as much wires as I could under there without bending or damaging anything. Then I applied, I just used some zip ties, kind of crunch the rest of it together and tuck it up here, but I had to use two hands to do that simultaneously. So now we have this hanging down, and it's as short as possible, which is great. That's exactly what I want. So now I kind of know I'm going to put my electrostatic wire right here. Now I'll just grab my polarizing lens and apply it to the lens of that camera. So here's the solution. I've installed the fit DVR adapter onto that electrostatic film. I routed that USB A or C wire back on the back side of the power adapter. That way, pretty much it uses its own gravity and pretty much stays onto itself pretty much without falling down, if that makes sense. So now I have both wires on both sides, and then I could always adjust the rear as well to make it shorter or longer. And so now this is where we're at. Now we're just gonna install the camera right here, power it on, and see how it looks. Switch it up. But there we have it, guys. This is the final look at the A810 Lite 4K dual channel from 70MAI. One of the best value dash cam you could possibly get on the market. That same was true for the A10 that we installed in the X3, but now we have the newer version, and even more compact form, giving you robust features and pretty much giving you all the features that their top tier dash cam would have at now a fraction of the cost. They're truly unbeatable. Protect your vehicles, protect your assets, protect your property, wherever your vehicles are parked. Again, these dash cams, they could save lives. They could be used in investigations, accidents, you name it. So again, having all of these not only keeps you safe and helps your insurance policy, but also make sure that you are protected as well and give you peace of mind. Again, the 70MAI A810 Lite does feature voice control 4G compatibility. Again, 4K front and A10 1080p rear. Obviously have built-in GPS, the parking surveillance, and it now features Wi-Fi 6. Wi-Fi 6, guys. So even faster connection and a super capacitor, because now these dash cams are moving from a traditional lithium battery and now to a super capacitor system. So now you'll be able to hold charge for longer and have a longer power and stable power to the dash cam. But again, guys, be sure to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys, like I said, are in the market for a dash cam, this is your ideal setup right here. The A10s or the A10 Lite, and using that Fit DVR power adapter to give you power to that dash cam. And also, if you're running like a radar detector or anything, this would be the ideal setup for you to run both simultaneously from a single power supply. So again, be sure to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.